They speak of darkness like it's a place you go, but I was born where the flame won't grow. No cradle, no candle, just the hum of the void, and a silence so deep that taught me to avoid. Light was a rumor, whispered in fear, a fragile thing that never came near. I didn't fall, I rose from below, from the furnace beneath where the damned don't go. They tried to chain what they couldn't define. I smiled while the iron etched into my spine. Truth don't shout in a world this grim, it drips from the cracks in a requiem hymn. Bones were forged where the sinners kneel, in a pit too dark for the saints to heal. I drank from a cup carved out of ash, each sip a pack, each word a slash. They asked for my name, I gave them smoke, a veil of thunder and mirrors broke. I became what fear won't speak aloud, a man shaped by silence, wearing a shroud. No prayers for the blinder who walks alone, no grace for the storm that calls me home. They think I hunt, but I am the prey who turned the chase into a crown of clay. I walk upright, not because I'm proud, but because I refuse to kneel to the crowd. There's no savior riding through my flame, only the dark, and it wears my name. Furnace burns, but it's not for light, it's for the truth that hides from sight. The dust will speak when the time is near, and they'll hear me clear, without a flicker of fear. I'm not here to be known, I'm here to remain like thunder buried beneath the rain. And when the stories forget who to blame, they'll find the shadow still wears my name. It didn't start with blood or fire or chains. It started with a room too quiet for dreams, and a window that never let the morning in. I remember the dust floating like ghosts in a chapel no one prayed in. My hands were small, but they already knew how to hold nothing tight. They say every man remembers his first fall, but I only recall where the light died first. Not with a scream, but with the soft betrayal of silence. Saw it leave, no flare, no thunder, just a hush so loud it cracked my ribs and filled the hollow with something colder than absence. There were voices sure, but none that called my name like they meant it, just shadows pretending to family and echoes rehearsing love from behind closed doors. I grew in that gloom, fed on ash and flickers, learning to smile with my teeth, not my eyes, and to answer questions no one asked out loud. I didn't become hard, I became still, unmoving like stone, waiting like steel, smoldering behind the bones for the moment I'd be called, but no one ever did. So I made a pact with the dark in me, not to be bright, but to be undeniable. They said, don't you miss the light? And I said, the light missed me first. It left long before I had the chance to deserve it. That's the truth I bring, not to inspire but to remind that some of us were never saved because the light chose not to try. I don't wear this coat for the cold, I wear it for the weight, for the silence it commands, for the way it swallows every eye before I speak. Midnight stitched into every thread, lined with promises no one kept. It drapes like memory over my shoulders, heavy with names I no longer say. They see leather, I see armor, woven from the nights I didn't break, from the fires I stood through without flinching. The buttons, black mirror, each one shows a version of me that died and kept watching. It doesn't shine, it absorbs. Light bends around it like guilt. No reflection, only absorption, like I've become too dark to echo. When I walk through smoke, it parts, not because I'm holy, but because even the ash knows who commands its fall. This coat saw the furnace, held the line when my ribs cracked, and the forge begged me to scream. I stayed still, let the heat reshape the steel beneath my skin.
Every crease is a scar I earned in silence. Every pocket carries more than hands. It holds the ghosts of what I chose not to say. It drags behind me like a vow, like a sermon with no God left to hear it. And when I pass, they don't remember my face, only the trail of that black mirror, moving like judgment. It's not just what I wear, it's what remains when everything else is gone. No medals, no light, just the echo of boots and the sway of shadow. You wanna know who I am? Look at the coat, look along, it'll show you exactly what survived.
There's no heart beating here, just the rhythm of something waiting to burn. Cold, not blood, pressed down by years, compacted by silence until it hums like thunder with nowhere to go. They think I'm calm cause I don't shout, cause I don't throw fists, but this stillness, it's the kind that splits mountains one crack at a time. I've swallowed every word I should have screamed, let them settle deep layer over layer, until I became a furnace in disguise. They wanted me tame, so they gave me shame instead of answers. Nailed on truths to my back and called it discipline. But you can't bury fire, not forever. You can dress it in suits, teach it to smile. One look in my eyes and you'll feel the temperature shift. There's a burn that doesn't need flames, just time and pressure. Memory, my ribs are the bars of a smelter, keeping the heat in it, so I can stay civil while my soul boils slow in its own history. They ask what keeps me going. It's not hope, it's not faith, it's the ember of every time I was told to sit down. Stay small, bite my tongue, and now that ember's chewing through the walls. I don't explode, I expand. I spread like smoke under doors, like ash in the air they breathe, unseen, until it's too late. One day they'll touch what I've become, thinking it's stone, and find it glowing, cracking alive. And when the blaze finally rises, when the silence breaks open like a wound, they'll say we never saw it coming. But I'll be there, cold light, fire back, still standing. And I'll say that's because you never looked deep enough to see what you planted inside my chest. Stomp, I don't shout, move like something that's already been burned. It came back in another shape. I walk like smoke, low, wide, unseen, till it's already inside the walls. You don't hear me coming, but you'll taste me when you I'm not here to be loud, I'm here to last, to slip through cracks, to stain what they swore was clean. They made me for this, not with hands, but with absence, with closed doors and cold hearts. Every time I was ignored, left outside, pushed down, I learned how to spread without permission. I watched the ones who ran with fire die fast, while I studied the silence and mastered the crawl. Now when I pass, no alarms, no lights, but something in their bones twitches like a memory of heat. You can't cage this, can't punch it, can't reason with what has no shape. I'm not here for the stage, I'm the fog that lingers after the curtain falls. They laugh until the air shifts and their lungs tighten like guilt. They never confess. You see, I don't need your doors open, I seep through, don't need to shout truth. I breathe it in and exhale it across your skin. Slow. Still hums under my ribs, the ash still whispers, and the path I walk leaves no footprints, just wait. This isn't revenge, it's return, not to destroy, but to remind that what they tried to erase now lives in the air they can't escape. So don't watch for the fire, watch for the flicker, the shift, the chill before the heat. Because I won't run, I won't scream, I just move like smoke. And when you realize I was here, it'll already be too late.
Talk like light is old, like it comes with breath, some holy birthright, handed down to the broken just for surviving. But I walked through prayers, and none of them open. Knocked on heaven's gate just to hear the bolts slide deeper. There's no light for the wicked, not because we fear it, but because it never meant to save us. I've seen saints sell knives with smiles full of scripture, and demons kneel cleaner than any man wearing white. Truth ain't what they told you, it's what's left after the angels turn their backs and the silence gets thick enough to choke on. I used to think I was fallen, now I know I was never invited to the sky in the first place. They say find the light, but the light ain't looking.
altars while the alleyways drown in smoke. I've buried better men than me and worse, all of them reaching, begging for some flicker that never came. Forgiveness, it's just another kind of leash worn by those too tired to keep standing. So I burned my need and wore the ash instead. This path isn't cursed, it's clarified. It tells me who I am without mirrors, without mercy. I've seen what light does. It blinds, it judges, it hides the blood beneath the white robes. But darkness, it tells the truth, quiet, unapologetic, complete. So don't preach to me, don't sing at dawn. This soul doesn't want the sun and wants a storm that never ends. 'Cause I'm what survives when hope rots, when justice forgets your name, when the gods grow silent. I don't walk toward the light, I walk through it out the other side, back into the black that made me. And if there's no heaven waiting, then maybe hell is just home with the lights off. They keep waiting for the fire, like I'm some match still unstruck. But the blaze already happened, and what's left, it don't catch, it cuts. I've seen flames eating men whole, heard them scream like gospel, watch their rage dance high, only to die choking on their own smoke. I burned early, quietly, left nothing but iron where the soft parts used to be. Now they throw sparks like insults, trying to light something that doesn't flicker. They want heat, but I bring cold, the kind that breaks fingers, not bone. Pride too cold to burn, too still to shake, too used to pain to call it by name. I'm not the fire, I'm the forge where heat once lived. Now silence does the talking. They mock the way I don't flinch, say I'm numb, say I'm broken. But truth is, you can't freeze what already turned to steel. I wear my scars like a coat, tailored in frost, and when they shout I just listen. Because ice don't argue, it waits, and then it cracks everything that believed it was safe. I've outlived the flare, outlasted the flare-ups. Now I walk not with rage, but with purpose, glacial unbending like a verdict no one wants to hear. They thought I'd ignite again, fall into fury, melt, But this ain't passion, this is precision. A man like me ain't here to burn, he's here to remind you that some flames become blades and some hearts stop pretending to be warm. So keep your torches, your gasoline prayers, your sparks and your shouting. You're trying to light a ghost, but ghosts don't burn. They chill the room, freeze the spine and leave without leaving. So when you ask why the fire never comes, just remember, I'm not too weak, I'm just too cold to burn.
There's a sound I carry.
There ain't a voice, ain't a drum. It's deeper than thunder, quieter than prayer. It's the silence in the hollow, not the kind that soothes, the kind that swells like black water behind the dam. Waiting, knowing it'll take everything when it comes. I don't scream anymore, don't see the point. Echoes don't answer and walls don't weep. I sit with the dark now, not against it, not beneath it, but beside, like an old friend. We don't speak, we remember. There's a room inside me, no windows, no clocks, just a single chair, and the ghosts of all the things I didn't become. They visit quiet, leave quiet. Each one nods like they understand that sometimes survival isn't victory, it's vacancy. People ask where I went, but I never moved. The world just kept turning, and I chose to stay still in the one place where nothing was demanded. Here, there's no judgment, no mirrors, no gods, only weight and breath and that low hum of existence, stripped of color. The hollow doesn't lie, it doesn't promise, it just holds like the last verse of a song that no one wanted to end. Now I wear it like skin. It's not that I have no light, it's that I stopped chasing it. 'Cause every time I caught a glimmer, it vanished, left me blinking in black and wondering if I imagined it. So now I wait inside the hush, inside the truth that speaks only when you stop trying to fix. They say silence is emptiness, but I've learned it's where the real things echo after the
just quiet. I'm not broken, I'm just undisguised.
I tried, God knows I tried, to walk in daylight, to speak softer, to let my hands forget what they've done. I wore the white, spoke the calm, let them call me better, like it meant something. But the dark, it remembers me. Not like a shadow, more like a witness, a keeper of every vow I broke, every line I crossed, and every silence I chose instead of truth. I walked through churches, felt nothing, kissed the sky, heard it whisper back, you don't belong here, and maybe it's right, because the dark don't lie, it doesn't pretend to forgive, it just opens its arms and waits. I try to unlearn the storm, to quiet the drum beat in my bones, to believe the fire was gone, but in the stillness I felt it low, high, familiar. The same way a scar feels before the rain, the same way your name tastes right before you forget it. The dark, it doesn't hurt me, it welcomes like a room that never moved my things, like a voice that never stopped calling. I change my face, my walk, my words, but it's still new. Still reach, still whisper, you were never lost, just pretending. And it was right. This is where I stopped running, where I turned around and saw myself, not broken, not redeemed, just returned. There's a place in the dark that knows my way, knows the fire I buried and the bones I stacked in silence. It doesn't ask, it remembers, not what I want it to be, but what I am when no one's watching. Maybe that's not hope, but it's honest. Maybe that's not light, but it's mine. So I walked back in, not as victim, not as ghost, but as a name spoken clearly by something older than
I remembered it back.
I used to flinch when the night came, hold my breath like darkness could break bones, but now I breathe it in. Like smoke I lit myself. They tried to burn me, not once, but every time I rose too tall, spoke too loud, carried too much truth in my mouth. Fire was their language, pain was their sermon, but I learned to speak in scorch marks and write my name in the drift of what they left behind. I'm not what stood in the fire, I'm what walked out of it, not a phoenix that's too pretty. I'm not reborn, I'm what remains. Ash pressed into skin, etched into soul, weightless but permanent. See, ashes don't beg for light, they don't dream of dawn. They've already danced with the blaze and laughed when the heat blinks first. I've worn smoke as a crown, let it curl around my eyes like memory. When the world called it ruin, I called it survival. Now I move different, not cautious, complete, not searching, settled like something that's seen the worst and didn't blink. You think the dark scares me now? I am the dark, I carry it in my chest, in my voice, in the way I stand still while the wind forgets how to breathe. This isn't a comeback, it's a confirmation that what they couldn't kill, they buried. And what they buried, learn to wait. Ashes don't rise, they settle, they claim, they remain. Your spotlight, your hymns, your redemption. I want the silence, the truth, the hum beneath the noise. Because when all the fire dies and the world forgets who screamed loudest, it's the ashes that stay, soft, unmoving, unafraid. So let them chase heaven, let them light candles and pray. I'll be here in the still, in the smoke, where everything ends, and only what's real survives.